What's up, guys, and welcome back to Morecambe, and we're into transfer deadline day again. Well, actually, I've got really into this career mode, so I just kind of kept playing, and I did actually do an episode back in November after we played 10 games of the season, and well, basically, I just kept playing, and now I'm probably about 3 weeks ahead of where I should really be in terms of this series, so I've decided to just reject that episode, get it out of the way, and go straight through to this one. So we're into January, and the next week as well will probably be the end of the season, so it'll be like 2 episodes this season, but nevertheless, we're into January, and there has been some movement in the transfer leagues. Transfer leagues? Well, maybe it is a transfer league. Anyway, Carrasco is currently winning the transfer league, moving from Atletico Madrid to Arsenal for £59 million, which is a hefty amount of money, but absolutely nothing on the current transfer window. Kovalenko from Hoffenheim to Chelsea for £37 million. Never heard of the boy, no idea what he's like, if he's any good or not, but they're willing to pay £37 million for him, so he's obviously not too bad. Ahmed Musa as well has moved to Bayern Munich for £28.5 million, and yeah, it's probably a pretty decent bit of business. I'm quite a fan of Musa, at least in FIFA. He's a very good player. He's pretty much like a slightly lesser version of N'Golo Kante, but yeah, that's the big transfers. There's a couple other things happened, but nothing absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, as for our team, I've signed a couple of players. There was a few developments, mainly this. Loftus-Cheek, after about 2 games of the season, exactly what happened back in January with Lewis Baker has happened this time with Loftus-Cheek. 2 games after the transfer deadline day, he goes and completely annihilates his knee, and that's the end of him for, well, pretty much this season. He'll be back with maybe a month or 2 left this season. I think he's got 2 months left on his recovery. But, you know, he'll probably be, if he gets a month in the season, then that's probably pretty good going, to be honest, with the seriousness of his injury. Ducksworth, I can't remember what he did, but he's out for, I think he's probably got another few weeks left. He injured himself, he was out for 2 months, and he's just kind of getting back to almost being recovered, fully recovered. It did leave us with a bit of an issue. We had to find a centre-back, not just because Ducksworth's injured, but Romero, our other centre-back that we've had from like years ago, one of my early signings in that position, he decided that he wanted to leave, so I've had to sell him, and I can't remember, the board basically took the decision to sell him, gave me no choice in the matter and sold him, and I can't even remember how much I got for him, but nevertheless, he's gone, and we had to replace him. So I replaced him with this guy, who's another guy with an absolutely ridiculously long name. That's about half of it. Monteiro Villas-Boas. He's actually pretty decent. I found him on the free market again, on the free agents, and yeah, physical stats are really good, very nice. And if you can find a player who's young with decent physical stats, then you're already off to a really good start with them. Their technical stats will grow faster than their physical stats most of the time. So for a player who's only like 17, 18, how old is he? 18, yeah. So for an 18-year-old to have physical stats like that is ridiculous. But his technical stats aren't amazing, but they're not bad either for a defender. So yeah, pretty happy with that. He's better than Romero was anyway. And Felix Ducksworth is up to 80 rated now. Again, very nice physical stats there, and his defensive stats, I've been training him quite a bit, so as you can see his defensive stats are a lot higher than the rest of his skills, his technical abilities. But nevertheless, he's 80 rated, which I'm very happy with. Davis is basically playing as a complete centre-back these days. Although he's a right-back, he does have the ability to play as a centre-back. Yeah, that's where I've been playing him, so pretty decent. He's not made any big mistakes. Michelin is an absolute beast. Absolute beast. I just can't do without him. He's amazing. Rivieros on the other side as well is he's not bad. He's pretty good. I quite enjoy having him in my squad. The only downside is he's on loan, so I don't know how we're going to deal with that at the end of the season, but we'll get to that bridge when it arrives. Cardinale is up. Everybody seems to want him. Every team in the world is putting in transfer offers for him, but I'm not selling him because, well, he's clearly good. He's only 25 and he's only going to get better as well. So, yeah, very happy. He made some awful mistakes at the very start of the season. Some really, really tragic mistakes, but he's sorted that out, and he's a very, very solid goalkeeper. Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Everybody else is performing well. Adama, really good. His ball control is just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. He goes past people for fun, but also doing very well up front. I think he's like third top goal scorer at the moment. Dongo Tosafak, the lad that I signed at the end of the transfer window as a sort of kind of like just a physical player, more somebody who can bring on to either replace Barroso, because you can see Barroso's very good technical. He's got a very good technical ability, ball control and agility and everything else. But where he comes down is his strength. Although he looks like an absolute boss on the pitch, he just has no strength. So that's a bit of an issue. But this lad kind of makes up for that with his 81 strength. Not off the book, but when you match it with his agility and his acceleration and his jumping, he's just an absolute beast. Like, everything about him is just beastly. Anyway, yeah, really good sort of backup striker. I've had quite a few offers for him as well, so he's obviously somebody who's been catching the eye. I also made another signing, this Locatelli. Unfortunately, it's not the Milan Locatelli, it's Alejandro Locatelli, and again, found him on the free market. No, I didn't find him on the free market. I had to sign him from, honestly, I can't remember, some random team, but I found him, and those stats are just not too bad at all. So I think he cost me 3.5 million and Daryl Murphy in the end, who, I mean, I think he was only worth Daryl Murphy about 160 to 200 grand, so yeah, not that much additional, but I needed to get rid of him, so that was an easy way of doing that. Yeah, not really played. I've only played him one game, but he seems to be not too bad. So he's apparently he's out of form though, so yeah, that's an issue. But anyway, he's yeah, I'm quite happy with the signing. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything about the squad, to be honest. I don't really have anywhere else I need to reinforce. The only reason I bought this Locatelli boy is because of Loftus-Cheek being injured, and I needed to still get somebody, because I mean, he's still got like 2 months to go, I think. So I'll have a look at my injury list, which is not very nice looking. Ducksworth, 8 days left, so he's almost back, which is very happy with. Yeah, he broke his elbow. I mean, how do you break an elbow? It's a joint. You don't break... How... Anyway, right. Cole Kepikawa tore his quadricep, which is just wonderful. That's 6 weeks he was out as well, which it would have been a big issue had we not got Rivieros on the left wing, left back position. If he was our number one and that happened, then we would be in a very bad situation, but thankfully he's not. And obviously Loftus-Cheek tore his ACL with about a few hours after the transfer window closed, and he's still got 2 months to go. So it was 7 months in total, which is just so much fun. So much fun. Any other random injuries? No. I like how I just went through every team in the Premier League, and like the most anybody had was like a couple of weeks, and we were sitting there with like 2 players who were both out for several months. Main players as well. Right, I need to show you something absolutely ridiculous before we get into the transfer deadline day ridiculousness. Ignore that. That's something we'll talk about in a second. It's not going to happen, but we'll get to that in a second. David De Gea, Man United, as you can see, he's 92 rated and he's valued at £61.5 million, right? So you wouldn't want to let him go on the cheap. Man United have royally fucked themselves. Royally, right? They didn't renew his contract. So at the end of the season, he will be joining Tottenham on a free. Tottenham. Like, it's such a stupid thing to do, is to just not renew your contract with your number one and probably the best rated goalkeeper in the world at this stage. I'm not sure what Neuer is, but I'm probably... He might... Well, I don't know. It's probably equal, and yet you just let him go on a free. Not only do you let him go on a free, you let him go on a free to one of your major competition rivals in the same league as you. Like, don't... If you're going to let him go on a free, let him go on a free to, like, Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or something like that, who are very rarely going to, like, actually, like, screw you, because the only time you'll ever play them is in the Champions League. And, I mean, Man United aren't really good enough to be in the Champions League recently, so it's not a big issue for them. But to let him just go to PSG? To let him just go to Tottenham is an absolute joke. Like, really? I mean, if I had 250 grand to splash around per week on a wage, I would have gone in for him, had I known that he had only got 6 months left in his contract. But I don't, so I couldn't. But it's just stupid. Like, how idiotic could you be? I mean, to be fair, Man United have probably spent so much time focusing on trying to sign more strikers and completely forgotten about the fact that they've got a goalkeeper who's the best in the world and is currently going to be leaving on a free to Tottenham. But yeah, they'll probably just stick Lukaku in goal, so that's fine. But nevertheless, we're into transfer deadline day, so let's see what happens. Anything absolutely outrageous unfolds in the last few hours of the day, and yeah, I kind of expected that. I put in an absolutely ridiculous bid. Eden Hazard only has 6 months left in his contract, and I put in a weekly wage offer to him of £26,000 a week, and he said no. So we'll just ignore that. Again, if I had like 300 grand a week to be spending, I would be doing it, but I just don't have the money, so it's not going to happen, unfortunately, as much as I would like it to. João Mario has just moved from Inter to Bayern Munich for £44.5 million. That's pretty hefty. Has that made it into the top? It has made it into the top. It's now number 2 in the transfer league. I don't understand these latest transfer deals because they move around. João Mario's back, despite having already completed his transfer like 2 hours ago, to back into the list again, which I don't really know why that's happened. Nothing else has really happened yet. Could we have another massive transfer? That looks like a massive transfer, although it's not made it into the top deals, so apparently not. And we've got an offer for Reece Turner. Right, fuck it, I'll accept that. 675 grand, that's not too bad. Get some off the books as well, and it's not the biggest gain in the world, because I think he was probably only on a couple of grand a week, but it's a couple of grand extra for us, as Perez has moved from Fiorentina to Barcelona. No idea the ramifications of that. Is he a good player? Not a clue, but he's done it, so that's something. And yeah, so we've sold Reece Turner for £675,000, and we've got an offer for Cardinal again, which is going to get rejected, given that you're offering about half what he's actually valued at, so that's definitely not going to happen. I've already rejected like a £21.5 million offer for him, so 15.5's never going to get it across the line. A lot of money being spent, but none of it big. Nothing on like one player. Just a few mil here, a few mil there, but nothing ridiculous. Yep, still nothing, and that's the end of transfer deadline day. So Carrasco to Arsenal was the biggest deal. João Mario to Bayern was also up there, but again, nothing absolutely ridiculous. Then again, it is a January transfer window, so you're probably not going to expect outrageous amounts of transfers going on. As Felix Ducksworth has finally returned from his injury, so that's good. And I've been given the job, offered the job of Scotland, which I'm probably going to rapidly turn down. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of playing European games, and your career just kind of gets in the way. Youth squad's looking not too bad. So I'll talk about another Dennis Moraes. I think we'll just release you, given that you're not got the best of potential. Right, hang on. 1, 2. So I've only got 3. 1, 2, 3 Edson Reyes all in my youth team. Not even just like around the world. That's just my youth team. Is there anyone else as well? Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I don't know why FIFA does that, but it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I've got a couple of really good looking players in my youth squad. This lad, Edson Reyes, one of them, one of the triplets. 88 to 94 potential, that's very tasty. I think we'll get rid of this Edson Reyes, he's not looking that good for us. And I have this boy, Ivan Aguri, is an Argentinian lad, and his potential, 92 to 94. I've been training him as well to get his base rate overalls now up to 60. I think I might keep going at that and just see if we can get him a bit better before we sign him on fully, but he's looking good. He's looking very good. But yeah, pretty decent looking youth team. A lot of potential 90 rated players coming through, so could be something, well, say, we'll probably never get to the point of them actually being first team players, but it's nice to watch. Nice to think that you might be able to get there. Anyway, that's probably going to wrap everything up. Actually, I completely forgot to show you the league. Right, okay, that's not the league, because that's the FA Cup. The league has been an absolute joke. We're sitting fourth in the league, right? I'll show you what the league looked like back in November. And Liverpool were in the relegation zone. I'm pretty sure Arsenal were like mid-table, and Chelsea were down there as well. Chelsea have got an absolute drive recently and got themselves right back up to the top. But for a while, and Southampton have dropped off as well, but look how tight it is at the very top of the table. Like 43 to 41 points. 2 points covers the top 7 teams. It's mad. Southampton were leading the league for quite a while. Then Crystal Palace. We were third at one point. And Stoke. Actually, Man United and Man City both pushed up to 4th and 5th. Then Stoke took them back again. But it looks like they couldn't hold on. But it's a very, very interesting league. And it looks like West Brom are going to get relegated again. Middlesbrough and Derby might be going down as well. Everton as well down there, not doing too well at all. Arsenal are still languishing in the bottom half, which, well, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. I'm not going to joke around and say that it's anything other than absolutely hilarious if they get relegated. But it's still a long way to go. We're only halfway through the season, so you never know what might happen. Maybe Arsenal will get relegated. I would absolutely love it if they did, but it's a long shot. Nevertheless, we're halfway through the season and they're still down there, so you never know. And that's pretty much it. That's everything I was going to show you. I think that's everything I was going to show you. Yep, pretty much, I think. So, yeah, if you've enjoyed this video and the, well, some of the madness, there's not that much madness. I think De Gea going on a free to Tottenham's probably the biggest madness, although it's not going to happen for another 6 months. But regardless, it's absolutely ridiculous that would even possibly happen. In what world would you be able to just buy or pick up David De Gea on a 6-month like pre-contract? It's just ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, and keep up to date. I post career mode videos every Monday, so if you're interested in this, then come back next Monday and there'll be another one where we'll be into the end of the season probably. So until then, cheerio.